Hey mamas, it's Caroline with 10 Tiny Toes Yoga, and today's class is going to be about indigestion. So maybe indigestion is an occasional issue for you, or maybe you've been in a constant upchuck mode since you got pregnant and you haven't been able to tie your shoes or bend over and your throat is raw. Does that sound like you? I'm so sorry for you. But you looked up some yoga to help you find some relief, and there are some really good positions that will help you to still stretch, but that will be very respectful of how you feel and what's going on with your body. So let's get on some really good stretchy pants. This is a all the props class. So like get your blanket for under your tush, get a good thick bolster to help you with some of these postures. If you've got blocks, those will come in handy as well. And I'll see you on your mat. All right, so we're gonna get started on a mat today, just sitting in a comfortable seated position. So if you have a towel, if you don't have a mat, that works. Just anything that's gonna just help you give you some more padding. So we're gonna start. I want you just to come to any comfortable leg position that works for you. And if even sitting up like this is just a lot for you, you can lean back against a wall or put a bolster behind you right at the base of your spine, just to help to give you some more support. But coming on down, sitting in this position, closing your eyes, and believe it or not, I'm gonna still ask you to find some gratitude for this moment. So, I mean, if the wives' tales are true, you've probably got like a super hairy baby in there. Just kidding. People say that, right? And mine weren't super hairy, but I did have indigestion. So be okay. It's gonna be fine. So sitting here, closing your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale it out through your mouth. And just let that tension roll down your shoulders, roll down your arms, roll out of your neck. Another deep inhale in through your nose. And exhale. And now lick your lips, close your mouth, and let's start to breathe in and out through our nose. As you breathe in, feel that air go down into your lungs, expanding your ribs. And as you exhale, just slowly close your ribs down, giving baby a gentle little hug in your belly. Taking all of those breaths in through your nose and out. And continuing this breathing, I want you to really calm your mind down, thinking about where you're storing that tension. You've probably got a lot up in your neck and in your shoulder girdle, and probably from staying hunched down a little bit, your legs are gonna be tight. So we're gonna work on everything today that's going to elongate that esophagus, that's going to help create that space, to create that flow, so that you have that openness, and when that acid starts to come up, it just flows back down. We don't want the acid coming up in our esophagus. So we're gonna work a lot about just opening up and releasing today. So take one more breath right in here. And exhale. And keeping your head above your heart, we're gonna start with some seated cats and cows. So again, you can grab wherever is comfortable on your hips or your knees. And on an inhale, you're gonna squeeze your shoulder blades together behind you, lifting your throat up, pushing your back, flex that back a little bit. And then as you exhale, keep your shoulders rolling forward. Keep your head up. A lot of the times we tip our chin into our chest, but we don't wanna do anything that's gonna signal that feeling for you. So keeping our throat open, inhale, coming back to your cow's pose. Exhale, rolling back to cat. So bringing some openness to our mid-back, to our spine. One more, just like this. And exhale, roll it back. Now let's gonna add some arms. So lift your right arm up, really pulling the chest open, pulling that elbow back. And then exhale, hand comes back to your knees. Inhale, roll back forward, alternate arm raises up. And exhale, roll it back. So we're rocking over the hips, coming through to each side, opening up our low back, our mid back, our shoulders, and our chest. And now on this next one, let's lift both arms at the same time. Opening them up, really building some strength in your back. Exhale, roll it back. One more. Inhale, bring it back up. And then exhale, lower your arms down. Coming in to a little bit of a modified side bend. This is a super gentle side bend. I want you to take your left hand, place it down on the mat, tenting up on your fingers. And just lift your right arm up and see if you can just lean over a little bit. Again, keeping your head above your heart. You can twist your chin to look up under your arm if you've got that mobility in your neck. And then inhale, come on back up. Both arms reach up, elongating those arms, and then let's bring our right fingertips down, leaning over, not bringing our head too far down, keeping our hips both squarely rooted into the mat. Perfect. Inhale and come up. Now we're going to come into a camel pose. So camel is great for opening up the whole front body, but we're going to do it with a little bit of some prop support here. So keeping your knees on that blanket, if you would like to, you can take it off if that feels better for you. I want you to take your bolster or your pillow, and you are going to kneel on your knees and bring this bolster to rest on the back of your legs. So we're going to come into camel pose, but we're going to use this just to bring the floor up closer to us so we're not bending back too far. So my knees are about hip distance apart. I'm going to inhale, circle my arms around and up to the sky. And as I exhale, I'm going to bring my arms around behind me to my block or to my bolster. And I'm going to slowly lean back on this. I'm going to engage my glutes. I'm squeezing them together, pushing them forward, rolling my shoulders down and back. I'm squeezing my inner thighs together. I'm not putting any pressure into my low back. Take a deep breath here. Awesome. And then exhale, release. So just bring your torso back up. Take your knees even wider apart. Take your bolster or your block or your pillows, and now you're going to put them right between your thighs. So you're going to come to sit on them. So we're in a modified hero pose now. So my knees are still about hips distanced apart, maybe a little bit wider. My toes are tucked under, the tops of my feet are flat on the mat. My hips are supported. And then from here, we're going to try to go back into a little reclined hero's pose as well. So you can walk your arms down, again, your bolster or your pillow, or if you were just on a block, you can be right here. And just taking a moment, embrace this posture. So baby is sitting there in your belly. You're getting a stretch on those round ligaments of your hip flexors, all of those muscles that are at the top of your legs, the bottom part of your uterus. You're opening up your chest back and wide. Don't let your head fall back. Still keep it up and aware. We're still building strength in this. And then slowly push yourself up and out of this. So that was just more of a stretch, but relaxation with those hips. Now we're going to come into a kneeling position again, bringing your left leg forward. So you can come off of that block or that bolster and take it to the side. And from here, I'm going to bring both of my knees onto my mat, but I'm going to take my left leg and I'm going to slowly step it forward. So in this kneeling position, make sure your hips your hips above your knee. You can rest your hand on your hip for support. The other one can be on your knee. And we're just going to do some big hip circles. So starting to circle your left leg forward and out. You can lean into it. We're just getting into that hip joint, working on some mobility and some flexibility there. So do that one more time. And then coming back into that lunge. So lunge a little bit onto your left leg here. Lean your left elbow on and then open up to the right. So it's a twist. We're going into this twist away from your left leg. So you don't want to ram baby's head into your leg. You want to keep it very open. Take a deep breath here. Perfect. And then release. So slowly slide that left leg back and let's go into your right side. So helping that right leg forward however you need to. Hand comes onto your right hand's on my right knee. Left hand is on my left hip. And I'm going forward and out with those hip circles again. So it's really important. I know you feel cruddy, but don't remain still because that just lets everything build up inside. The progestin, the relaxin, everything that is just amped up in your pregnant body is slowing your whole digestive tract down. And I know the inclination is just to lay there and be still, but you've got to get things moving so that it can work its way out. So last one here, slide that right arm down your right knee and let's open twist to the left. Taking that deep breath, sinking into those hips if that is comfortable for you. Taking those breaths will just help you to move all of that acid on down. Perfect. And then slowly we're going to come on up to a standing position. So tucking that right foot back under, you can take both hands onto your right knee, tuck your left toes under, push yourself up, and then slowly step together. Now we've had our heads above our heart the whole time, so you shouldn't feel too wobbly coming up, but still take a moment just to find that comfort. And you can leave your blanket there if you'd like, that's absolutely fine. Inhale from right here. So your feet are stepped about hip distance apart, making space for that baby. Inhale and circle your arms around and up to the sky. And then exhale, taking your hands to your hips, pick up your right foot and step it back. Not a huge step. We're not going into warrior two. We're just going to stay right here in warrior one. So my right foot's at a little bit of an angle. If you're feeling wobbly, you can step your feet wider apart. But turning your hips so that they're facing the front of your mat, I want you to leaving your left hand on your left hip. Inhale your right arm up and lean over to the right a little bit, just to your comfort level. Release your shoulders away from your ears. You'll feel this great stretch across your lower hips. And then we're going to switch to the other side. So right hand comes to your right hip. Lift your left arm up and over. And then release. Bringing your arms forward like you're in two little goalpost positions. You're going to try to bring your elbows as close together as possible. And on an inhale, you're going to open your arms to cactus and lean your chest forward. Exhale, elbows come together. Inhale, open. Exhale, elbows together. Last one, inhale, open. Straightening at your elbows. Bring your hands behind your back. Interlace your hands to make a fist. Pull the tips of your shoulder blades back. Lift your throat up. Take one really good breath here. And exhale. And release. Now slowly turn your toes both to the right and turn to the right one more time. And here we are in our position on the other side. Again, if you want to take your feet a little bit wider, you can do that. Inhaling, both arms up to the sky, taking your hands down to your hips. Leave your right hand on your hip, lift your left arm up, lean a little bit to the left. So don't go far that you get off of balance. Just feel the stretch. And then lower your left hand down, and let's bend over to the right. Perfect. And release both hands down. Once more, bring those arms up in front of you. Inhale, pull your chest through, open your elbows wide. Exhale, bring the elbows together. Now, some of you keep going, might have a lot of breast tissue there, and if that's the case, just bring them as close as you can together. And one more time, inhale and open. Exhale and close. Perfect. And bring your arms down behind your back one more time, interlacing your fingers to make that fist, and then inhale, pulling that fist down your back legs, lifting your throat. Don't let your head fall back. Just take a deep breath here and feel that stretch everywhere. And then release. Good job. So we are going to come back down to our mat, coming into a reclined butterfly pose. So to get this pose set up, again, the 2 blocks and the bolster will be very good for you. And again, it's not a super duper hard one to set up. You lay 1 block flat and 1 block up to the side. And we're just going to end in this position today. So coming down onto your mat, bringing the soles of your feet together, relaxing on back. This is a great position to recline in, to relax in, because it has, once again, your esophagus lifted up. So you just always want to keep this elevation. And diet plays a big role in your indigestion as well. So make sure that you're just aware of what are your triggers for any sort of your indigestion, and just try to continue to eat those smaller, lighter, more frequent meals. So I hope that as you relay in this Shavasana position, you find some relief, you feel some of that stretch and that release throughout your body. Come back to this practice frequently if you keep on experiencing indigestion, just so that you can get a little yoga and stretch in without triggering any of those issues that you have. And I would like to hopefully tell you it's going to all get better. It'll go away. It will. You will feel better. All right. If you like these videos, please subscribe to our channel. Drop a comment below. Tell me how you feel, what works and what didn't. I hope you guys just know that every day of pregnancy is not easy, but it does get you one step closer to seeing those eyes, those nose, and those 10 tiny toes. So going forth, let there be peace and love in your thoughts, peace and love in your words, and peace and love in your heart. From my heart to yours, and that one beating fiercely inside your chest. Namaste.